We are live, man. Everybody jump in. Everybody jump in. Talk Tuesday. We are with. I'm gonna add my sir in. We're gonna add him in here in just a second. I think he got a lot. Oh, there you go, Mr. Samuel White. Sam White.
Haha.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
How are you today, man?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
Man, I'm good, man. Just living the dream on a wonderful rainy Oklahoma day.
That's it.
Yep.
Getting
So,
nice and foggy.
man, man, tell us a bit about yourself. I'll let you jump in and kind of introduce yourself to the people.
Yes, sir. This fog actually in Oklahoma reminds me of my home, San Diego. We don't get a lot of fog here, but any synergy between the two, I love. And so, Sam White moved from San Diego to Oklahoma. I grew up in Phoenix originally, but lived in San Diego for 10 years and been an entrepreneur for quite a while. I moved to Oklahoma in June of 2022 with my wife. She's an ER physician here during residency. And yeah, moved here with a W 2, was managing a 52-acre mixed use project, which is called The
Okay.
Half, where Chicken and Pickle, Flicks, and Delisi, etc. are. If you're from Oklahoma, you would kind of know that area. And then recently stepped away from that and started working on two separate real estate firms, one based in Scottsdale. Assets. That's my quick rundown.
Okay, man. I know that. I mean, you got an extremely large resume, so I mean, you didn't even say it all, but I'm
Yeah.
man, I'll just give y'all some insights. So Sam, man, we connected, of course, at church, People's Church, 800 East Britain. I'm just throw a little shout out in there. But man, it was really a divine connection too. I don't know how you feel about that, but it was really a divine, man, and I think that just from a brother standpoint and from spiritual standpoint, man, it just we just hit it off.
Yeah.
And we understood that we, dabbled in the same career path, and I was like, oh man, like that's even more amazing. Even though he is far above, where
No,
I'm-
sir. No,
like,
sir.
he's far above. I'm trying to catch up to my brother, but
We're stepping into our kingdom assignments. That's what we
uh,
look at it as. Yeah.
man, but I wanted to understand your development side, and a lot of people don't know like you have that background, but man, you're doing some amazing things when it comes to that. You have a very particular skill set when it comes to that. Please share any projects, anything that you're doing specifically with that.
Yeah, definitely. So I think my biggest shift has been from the kind of the startup space, which I have owned several startups in San Diego. Not all have been real estate focused. I've owned my first company was a marketing agency and staffing agency. So I worked with Fortune 500 companies, and then I also worked with small businesses. So that was mostly staffing people for trade shows, and that escalated to working with like Airbnb was one of my really large clients, and then I shortly thereafter started a vacation rental company in San Diego. So I was both small beach houses, and then ended up with some really large properties as well. That if you're from Oklahoma, then you would know they're like Nichols Hills size properties and or Galardia size properties. If you're from San Diego and see this, they were in Rancho Santa Fe, Del Mar, etc. So that was kind of the height. I was 25 at that time and had handed the keys to these multi-million-dollar projects. So I was like, "Oh, let's go!" And so, and then I actually entered into a master's program at University of San Diego, and that kind and that you, me, Sam White, and Isaac Darko, and all the people watching here today actually have the ability to own apartment complexes, storage units, boutique hotels. These really, all these places we patronize. So I never really understood my when I was a child that real estate was so much bigger than just the showing people homes or the acquisition of homes. Specifically, you can own these bigger assets, and that's through either
Mm,
syndication or a fund. We're not going to go too deep into these, but that's all the stuff that I've learned in just the last couple of years. So some of these I've participated in, buying buying into small boutique hotels or buying into larger Airbnbs. Like the project that I was managing when I first moved to Oklahoma, the 52 acre, I'm not going to be able to use my own capital to purchase something like that. That was a $500 million project. But
yeah.
what I know is that as I continue to, build my capital resources, that I'm going to be able to be on the ownership side of that versus being paid out as an employee to manage that in
Oh,
the future. And you just really need one project like that, and you could retire really. But I think I will just continue to build until I
yeah.
cannot not build anymore. Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that for me, I know that impacts me a lot because for some reason, I'm like, man, this dude has no fear. Like, you don't fear the number. Like, these are millions of dollars, and in most cases, our entrepreneurs like us, they see that, man, they don't think it's attainable. But you broke it down in a way to me. I know personally, like I was like, man, that is very much attainable if we crowd fund or put the capital together, X, Y, and Z. And so, where did you get that fearlessness from? Like, what does that come from?
Yeah, I think the just probably a combination of working with a lot of startups positions and or my mom actually to go back further. My mom
Yeah.
says that my boldness can and pass out flyers for
Mhm.
church that because I was there telling people that they should come to church no matter who they were. That's where I got my
Gotcha.
boldness. I would say
Yeah.
that I think I became really confident um, just by having some success and then also failure. You just send out blast emails, you call people, you just have conversations, get in the room as much as possible with people. And I think one thing that I really tell people all the time is like, I think sometimes when you're hesitant to go up to somebody, you may have missed a connection that you need. That might be
Mm,
a
yeah.
divine appointment that God has placed in your life, and then you kind of decide, oh,
Mm,
I'm not gonna actually go up to that person. So
man,
yeah.
I love that. It's
Mhm.
so I love that. It kind of and it kind of speaks to our friendship and actually your friendships among some other people, man. I've heard your name in space, and I'm like, this dude ain't even from Oklahoma. Like,
Mhm.
how is this dude like out here like that? And I was like, man, I thought I was a networker. Like, you are a true like networker. You're a connector in a sense as well.
Yeah.
Um, and so, like for me, I know that how you see real estate. I've talked about it on some past shows, but I'm like, give us a kind of a vision for the future of real estate. Like, what is your outlook? Like, from your point of view, what is the future?
Yeah, so I'd say that I'll talk about like on a macro level, and then also I think Oklahoma specific. So on a
Mhm.
macro level, I think we're going to continue to see a lot more people understanding the stuff that I'm talking about here, which is the crowdfunding some of these bigger projects. When we were younger and less technology infused, it didn't make sense, for a lot of people to be able to participate in some of these bigger deals. Now we're doing as much blasting out. Like I literally cannot buy a boutique hotel on my own. However, I can buy a boutique hotel with numerous people that I've interacted with that give a little bit of money towards this boutique hotel. We add value. We buy it as a house flip, and then
I think I might have lost some. Let me know if you can hear me. See if you can hear me, Sam. Might have lost some. So um he's basically talking about like the future of real estate, like from his point of view. And pretty much, from a macro standpoint. And so generally, man, uh and to kind of piggyback on what he was saying, like the buyers are looking different than they
Zach,
used to. You
there we
bet?
go.
Okay. I
Yeah,
was
let's
like,
go.
man, might have to get you on that. Might
No,
have to get you on that AT&T, bro.
I have AT&T. I don't know what's going on, AT&T.
Oh man,
This is
that's a
not,
pro-
this is not a this is not an ad for
oh
AT&T.
man. Okay. Okay.
Um,
But continue.
that's so
Continue.
macro level. I think more people are going to start participating in these bigger deals. There's just so
Okay.
much more that you can do. I think we're also going to see kind of a urbanization. I think a lot more like car-free communities. We'll be seeing a lot more urban infill. So I know like Oklahoma, for instance, is super spread out. I think at some point, that was the thing of the past. I think people like to see a little bit more filled in
Mhm.
as much as possible. So I'm excited to see kind of the changes that go there. And then for me personally, I like projects where you can do multiple things with one particular asset. So, but I mentioned a boutique hotel, for instance, a boutique hotel that also caters to let's say the older population like that likes to travel together. So you set up community events for this population. You can also do family reunions, like cater to specific groups for these boutique hotels, not just like have it open to anybody and everybody that comes through. That's also a good avenue, but create specific programs. So it's not just a real estate
Yeah.
deal that you're doing. You're also becoming a business alongside it. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that going into the future as people become more innovative.
Mm. Do you see, along with that, do you see the normal consumer becoming an investor at that point? Or
As long as the government allows, I think that it's a possibility. I think
okay.
there's like 506B and 506C type investment issues, but I think as long as you, like a normal consumer, starts to understand and make sure that they're intelligent as far as these bigger real estate deals go, then I mean, crowdfunding and crowdsourcing is such a popular thing now. It's just in the real estate space, you have to be a little bit more careful with who you're
Mhm.
taking money from and investing with.
Yeah. And so, I mean, because I hear a lot of people that they want to get in investing, but they want to do it differently. They don't want to go to I don't want to say the names of these investment companies, but they want to do, they want something more, I guess, tangible in a sense,
Yeah.
something where they can see their money grow. And we'll actually talk about that on
Mhm.
this tonight. But I'm really big on like offering consumers, a way in.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
they want to. So I'm starting to see more consumers turn into actual investors.
Yeah.
Um, are you seeing the same thing, or?
Yeah. I think as long as people are knowledgeable and have the ability to like know what's going on, and I think I look at it like this: like we're missing out on so many people that would like to be investors. Almost everybody, real estate wise, wants to be in real estate. Like everybody wants to be. But who, Isaac specifically is a realtor broker. Sam is a broker, developer, investor. But if we're not actually speaking to these individuals who want to be in real estate and kind of guiding them through the process, then they just kind of get stuck.
True.
So I think like if you think about um, like my niche when I started my company is doctors and dentists.
Mhm.
Doctors and dentists personality type, they don't typically like, some of them are very risky, but a lot of them are risk averse. If you look at that archetype of individual, they
Yeah.
want for a career that is very safe and make sure that you're making sure that you're making money, and that they kind of know what their career trajectory is going to look like. So they might not be reaching out to you and I to say, hey, let's run this profile or this portfolio up. However, if I am the one reaching out to them, I foster that connection. I build, we do one prototype property together, and then they start to see the money return.
Yep.
Okay, that's nice, exciting. Let's put the gas on it, and let's continue to go from there. So, and that's that individual. But I think another thing that happens is the common individual that's just buying a house doesn't think of themselves as an investor. So every single person that's bought a house from you, Isaac, I would consider an investor because they now have equity in their home, hopefully, and they have the ability to do some things with that equity. But I think what happens typically with a realtor and home buyer relationship is that relationship just kind of severs because they won't talk to you until they're ready to buy their next home in 5 to 10 years. When in reality, it should be more of like, hey, so you guys bought your house. What's next? You guys want to, get that rental property? You guys want to, roll some of that, get some flips? Do you guys want to roll some money into a syndication, buy into a multifamily syndication? What do you want to do? Let's continue this conversation.
Man, that's good. And I like the way you said that, particularly with the connecting, cultivating relationship. And I know that you do that very well as well, like on a larger scale.
Yes.
So I do want you to talk about Prosper.
Yeah.
And give us the insight on that. And also if you want people to join,
Sure.
go ahead and definitely promote that. But talk about Prosper.
Yeah. So I, myself, and then Tremaine McDonald, who is my partner in building this community, we met at People's Church or I think it was last year, and maybe in November of 2022. Actually, let's go take it back.
Actually, way back. Okay.
So one thing that I realized when I moved here is I was going to some networking events and starting to have conversations and building a community, but I didn't really find people that were both godly and wanted to level up. And so one of the things that is the focus of this group is to remind people of their call to prosper. God hasn't called us to be okay with just working a regular day-to-day job, and that's what life is. And so for some, that is okay to do, but I think God has called us to continue to grow. Right. And the prosper for me doesn't mean that my bank account is full. I've got this huge house, I've got cars, I've got planes, I've got this and that and the other. Those things are all nice, but if my true call to prosper is to make as much money as possible, and then I can give back as much money as I desire to. And so that's kind of what we focus on in the group is let's make these connections. Let's see what we can do together to get there and facilitate kind of the growth of individuals. And it's been really cool to see just kind of shift in confidence and some of the individuals, like one that I can think of specifically, came in with I don't really know if I have a business concept and how much I should charge, or if I should charge, if people actually pay for this, and then a few months later is presenting in front of everyone, just saying like, this is what exactly kind of how her path. Excuse me. And so it's been really cool. And we meet once a month. We're going to actually shift what we're doing in the future. We're going to start having Monday morning Zoom meetings as well, just to kind of like amp people up. And those will be super quick, but for the week, but just getting people on and on Monday morning, reminding them like, hey, our goal this week is to kill it. We can't, I think what our pastor at church talks about is like everybody comes to church on Sunday, and then Monday through Saturday you kind of drop off.
Right.
And so our goal is to be like, okay, Sunday you got the Spirit, you're filled, and then Monday, hopefully for all the entrepreneurs and or people trying to level up, we pour into them a little bit, they pour into us, we're excited, we're motivated, and then we go about our week. And so to see some change from that will be really cool as an additional meeting time.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and I like you pretty much giving a platform for people who not fully into the business world, but they're like right on that cusp, and then like you were talking about the young lady, I know you're talking about, man, just to see the progression like over time is really amazing. And then to put her on that, put her on a put her in that platform on a pretty much on an island to talk about what she does, man. That was big for her, and
Mhm.
so I really love that, and I think guys, if you are interested in that, this godly business minded individuals, and definitely check out OKC Prosper.
Yeah.
Uh, we generally meet at Chicken Pickle
Mhm.
for now, and so
Yes, it's still for now. Like
yeah, getting big.
we're all figuring out a lot of things,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Um, yeah, once we do a once a month meeting, usually the first or second Saturday, from 10 to 11:30, and then we are going to. It's not been announced quite yet. This is my first time mentioning, but we are going to add the Monday mornings, and it's going to be like super short, maybe 15 to 30 minutes
mhm,
max. We're going to pour into each other and go about our week. And that's, of course, all these things are optional, but our focus again is to just get rid of people to level up. And this is not People's Church specific. Whether you call yourself a Christian or not, we want more people to come to it. But we want, yeah, again, the focus is just to, focus on that call to prosper.
yeah, that's good. And so, man, final thoughts. Give me final thoughts, and also tell them where they can find you and reach you.
Yes, sir. The final thoughts, man. I think it's been really cool. I just had a conversation right before we jumped on with my buddy from San Diego, and I don't think he knew that I moved to Oklahoma City yet. And he was like, "Oh, what's going on over there? Do I need to look at the real estate market over there?" And I was like, "You do," because I think when I moved here, I had no clue. Like, again, I never really, sorry to Oklahoma people, but I didn't really think of Oklahoma before I moved here.
Emails.
And then to like start like pouring in, learning a little bit more, starting to meet the people, starting to there's just so much talent here that I think people are, I don't know what it is, but people just don't necessarily always jump on that talent. And so that's, going back to Prosper, it's been really cool to kind of see, reach into people and be like, hey, you have so much talent, let's level up.
Yeah.
But the same thing goes with the real estate market. I think it's one of those things that people are like kind of sleeping on, but I give Oklahoma 5 years and it's going to be a wild, wild place. So
Mm,
um, get in while you can. Hit up Isaac. You can hit up myself up. My Instagram. Feel free to reach out. Sam Diego 20, SAM Diego 20, and my personal Instagram or my company Instagram is the Pivotal Investment. Either way.
all right, man. All right. Love it. Man, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah,
That's a
super fun.
pleasure. And man, y'all go ahead and look at his face.
Uh,
Look
chat. Let's
at
chat.
his face. Remember that.
Uh,
Doing some big things, man. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you for blessing our platform, and
Thanks for having me.
we'll take it from there. So,
Yes,
man,
sir.
see ya.
See you.
All right, man.
Bye.
Too, man. So, man, I'm happy that Sam was able to come on here, man. That really blessed me. He's a great individual, y'all. Great individual, man. And I think you get a lot of insight from him just based on what he does on a day-to-day basis, man. We try our best to connect, but we get really extremely busy. But outside of that, man, he is somebody that I try to stay in contact with on a daily, weekly basis if I possibly can. Um, and so yeah, man. So thank you for coming on, Sam. I appreciate that. I did want to get into some other thoughts, definitely when it comes to um, what I shared on there, talking about investment vehicles. business startup, and I'm glad he kind of touched on that a little bit. So you guys have a platform that you can dive into. So OKC Prosper. I will put some of that information on the Instagram post. So just look out for that. But man, a couple things. I was looking at different investment vehicles, and I know that there are a few specific ones that I've been looking at here lately that have been doing really, really good. Um, but I was like, man, what are some of the things that people want to hear as far as investments is concerned? Now, he talked about real estate investment from a consumer standpoint, but I wanted to talk about like other ways you can kind of invest, your hard-earned money and get it into some vehicles that are working. Now, for me, understand like 401k is one of those things that every company has, but a lot of people don't understand what those 401ks mean at the end of your tenure at your job. And so the one thing you want to do is transfer that money and get it into a vehicle, um, especially if you're double digit thousands. You want to get it over into a vehicle that's going to make you money much faster. So, for instance, there are particular programs out here that have um, um, high yield rate of return accounts. That and understand, I'm not a financial advisor of any sort. This is just from experience and what I'm seeing out here. Um, Specifically, there is something called Daisy AI that you definitely need to check out. That is something you definitely need to check out. I will post that link on that. But man, let me tell you, the returns have been amazing. And so, as a matter of fact, if you want to know any information about that, you can directly message me offline. But um, the other thing I've been seeing is crowdfunding. He said it too. He said it while we were talking, but crowdfunding, that is one of the best ways to actually invest your money. Now, you invest your money with a credible source. Let's just start there, making sure they're credible first. And a couple different ways that you do that is just understanding how their process works, you know, and the transparency of the actual project. So if you're going to invest in something that's real estate specifically, then the money needs to be attached to a property or a project. And if it is not, man, that is number one red flag if it's not attached to anything. Because somebody's just taking your money and saying, well, hey, I'm just going to do this with it. That sounds really red flag sketchy. So at any rate, but crowdfunding, but Daisy AI is kind of a trading platform that takes your money and trades for you using AI technology. It's an amazing concept and great returns. But the second one is crowdfunding. And so if you get into any crowdfunding source, I would at least tap into either me or somebody that you trust as a trusted advisor to you, um, and ask about the crowdfunding project that you're getting into. But man, these things are amazing vehicles to make get some good solid percentage returns on. So at any rate, man, I don't want to hold y'all long tonight. Um, I did want to sign off with saying this, but man, let me tell y'all, I put down below on this right below me, it says no gatekeeping. And so I just want to tell y'all, like, this is like near and dear to me. This year, everybody about to get this information. Like, this information is much needed, and man, we're definitely going to share. But I wanted to end this by giving you guys an opportunity to come to one of our events. We're having an event. It is February 3rd at the Aloft Hotel, Quail Springs. is going to be an amazing event. It's from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're also having a live mixer happy hour, in a sense, from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. It is showcasing some of the top business owners and network and a networking situation. So you get to talk about your businesses, share your business cards. There might be giveaways, and so, man, all you have to do is show up, man. We are putting together a community of pretty much a mastermind, in a sense. We want to help me and EJ McNeely. We want to help other businesses become, become great. And so, and to do that is to get in the room. And so, at any rate, we'll have a bunch of different people from a lot of industries, and we want people to collaborate. And we want to build a culture of helping each other build together. And so that is what we're standing on. So it's called Standing on Business. So if you can come out, please come out. It is once again, it's February 3rd, 2024. It is from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Aloft, Quail Springs. Can't miss it. It's a beautiful hotel, and we are super excited. And I'm gonna see if I can drop the flyer. See if I can drop the flyer. Probably can't. I don't know. I think I can. Let me see. I think I might be able to. Let's see if I can do it. I can't do it. Okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna put that down below. I'll put that into the Instagram page and also on the Facebook page as well. But man, I appreciate you guys tonight, man. I am going to chill out. I have been up since 4 a.m. this morning, and I think y'all can tell my eyes getting low. But man, I appreciate you guys, man, and we'll have some more perspectives when it comes to real estate and other things. And so, guys, man, like and share this, subscribe to the channel, please. And also give me your feedback. If I'm boring, if it's just stupid information, tell me what I should be talking about. And, I'm open. And thank you guys for getting on and showing up. All right. Peace.